Hi, welcome to Living Healthy with Amy Turner. Today, my special guest is Iris Cox. Welcome, Iris.
Thank you.
So excited to have you today.
I'm happy to be here.
We are grateful to have her, and we're here at her house today. Iris, could you tell us your profession?
I'm a therapist.
Okay.
Or principally with people with anxiety, depression, any other issues in their life where they're finding that they, kind of are stuck. They can't move forward. Mm-hmm. And often the symptoms they have are related to physical problems as well. And so it's interesting how when you start to clear up the emotional issues, their physical issues clear up too.
That is true.
It shows you how much your general health is affected by how you feel.
Okay, great.
Your emotional state.
Awesome. Can you give us an example of that?
It happens a lot with children in school, mm-hmm. where they're not succeeding in school. They hate school. Mm-hmm. And really the main problem is that they're just unhappy. Mm-hmm. They say the other kids hate them. They just have this feeling that they're not being accepted. Mm-hmm. And they just do very poorly in school. Mm-hmm. And so as I work with them to clear their concerns, their poor self-image, that kind of thing. And there's another thing that often will affect children is problems with the brain connections, mm-hmm. How your brain functions. And I do brain gym for that. And it's amazing how it just, suddenly they just start doing really well in school.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So could you tell me a little bit more about the brain gym, Iris?
Oh, okay. Brain gym is it's a series of exercises that you have the person do, which creates a better connection between the two hemispheres of the brain. Okay. If you're having difficulty remembering and retaining information, mm-hmm. It's because the two hemispheres of the brain are not well connected.
Oh, okay.
And there are a series of exercises that you do that create a better connection.
Okay.
Creates new connections between the two hemispheres of the brain.
That's wonderful.
And then the brain can function more efficiently.
Okay.
Because when they're not well connected, you tend to use one brain at a time, one side, and each side does different things.
Okay.
Like the right brain is the one that is emotional, mm-hmm. reacts to color, artistic. Mm-hmm. People are more artistic if they're right brain. Mm-hmm. And the left brain is the reasoning brain, where you analyze things and think things out. Mm-hmm. And if you're not well connected, you go to do or learn something new, the left brain is the one that functions, that kicks in first.
Okay.
But if there's not a good connection, your right brain, which sees things as a whole, puts mm-hmm. things mm-hmm. together, mm-hmm. is not working. And so you can be exposed to a lot of new learning, repetitive learning and so on, and your right brain is not working the whole time. You will not remember anything that you learned. And so it's vital that both hemispheres are active, and the exercises that I have them do mm-hmm. create just thousands of new connections
That's wonderful.
between the two hemispheres. And suddenly, they're really smart.
Wow, that's
They
wonderful.
just excel in school after that.
I bet that those children are so grateful for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the parents, that's going to be
Yes.
such a relief
Yeah.
on them and a lot of stress off of them and the
Yes,
children.
right. Yeah, several times I've had, say, a young person in their 20s or so call me, or they meet me somewhere, and they'll say, "Do you remember you did brain gym with me when I was 10?"
Really?
And I'm so grateful for what you did, because look, here I am. I'm
In the schools.
Yes,
Yes.
I have. Yeah.
With children in their classes, or
Yeah, well, I would be taking kids out one at a time
okay.
who were struggling.
Okay.
And it was just amazing how they would just suddenly
Wow.
not need any help. They were just bright as could be.
That's wonderful. So how long did you do that for when you were in the schools?
Oh, I started doing that. That's the very first kind of therapy I did
Okay.
when for my daughter, when she was about 7, 8.
Oh, okay. Back when your daughter
I
was young.
learned about it then.
Okay.
And but I've been doing it now for 40 years.
Wow, that's wonderful. Okay. So, can you tell me about what got you into this kind of work and the natural solutions of
The
things?
work that I'm doing now,
Yes.
I just added on to the what led me into it. Well, it's started mainly with my daughter.
Okay.
She was diagnosed ADHD
Okay.
when she was like 7.
Uh-huh.
And that got me into just studying, because they did put her on Ritalin,
Okay.
and though it helped her calm down, it just messed up with her emotional
Yeah.
state. And she would get very depressed.
Oh, that's hard.
And she'd take her pill in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and that'd get her through the morning. But then by the afternoon, she was crashing from
my
the effect
goodness.
of And then she was miserable, really combative, and in the evening you could hardly live with her.
Oh my goodness.
So finally, she just said, "I'm not taking those anymore. I hate how they make me feel."
Mm-hmm.
And so, mostly through her high school, she struggled, with that. But I did brain gym with her, and it helped a lot.
Wonderful.
But
That's
trouble
great.
with her was hard to get her to actually do it. She was by then kind of rebellious.
Yeah. So the older she got, she kind of made her own
she didn't want to be
choices.
doing all this exercises and things.
Right. Right.
She wanted to just go off and be with her friends.
Yes.
So with that therapy, it's best to get the children before they're like 10 or 11.
Okay.
You can get them before then, they'll cooperate with you.
That's great.
But if they get to be 14, 15,
Yeah.
you practically can't work with them.
Yeah.
They just resist.
Yeah.
So you can't really get any success with people until they're like in their 19, 20, 25, into that age group.
Okay.
Then they're desperate.
Yeah.
Their life is a mess, and they want to.
Yeah. They just want to get help, right? And feel better.
They get serious about it,
That's great.
and then they start to have success.
Okay. Now, you got cancer years ago. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, that's 35 years ago when I was first diagnosed. My husband and I at the time were serving a mission for our church.
Okay.
And the thing is that I'd always, from the time I was a child, had problems with my digestive system. and I often had a lot of cramping and everything there.
Mm-hmm.
And really was not that much of a healthy person.
Yeah.
It's funny, I thought I was healthy, but by the time I was in my late 40s, and I was having so much problems with my digestive system. Felt that I could hardly eat.
Oh my goodness.
When I ate, I felt sick. And so I hated eating.
Mm-hmm.
I dreaded having to eat.
Yeah.
And that's why we were in Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
serving this mission.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started having some really serious symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, the doctor, I'd gone to several doctors through the years, and they really didn't diagnose it, didn't really know how to treat it. But anyway, this doctor, he found it by just pressing on my abdomen.
Really? Wow.
Found that there was a mass in there.
Wow.
And so I started having treatment. And because I'd had a lot of, dealt a lot of health problems with my son too, who was older than my daughter. And his was allergy. He had an allergy to milk.
Okay.
And again, the doctors totally missed it.
Really?
Yep. He was throwing up all the time, couldn't keep his food down. And they had no idea what was wrong. He was in and out of hospital. But I just was told by God.
Yeah, wonderful.
Told me about that, don't give him milk.
Okay.
And at first I thought, I can't do that. Milk is, the stable for a baby.
Mm-hmm.
He was like 2.5 by then.
Yeah.
And had been just sick all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, again, the message kept coming, don't give him any milk. So I thought, okay, I'll stop giving him milk.
Yeah.
As soon as I did, he got well.
Wow.
Stopped throwing up as soon as he wasn't drinking milk.
That's amazing.
So I was thinking, even at that point, about alternative medicine, because the medical doctors hadn't a clue what was wrong with him.
Yeah.
In and out of hospital, no solutions.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking, they don't know everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for other sources.
Good for you.
And so I did, started having him treated with what they call homeopathic treatments. And that's how he finally got that he was not so allergic. He still doesn't drink milk or eat cheese. He's in his 40s now. But he got that he could be well. And so that got me started.
Okay.
And then when I was diagnosed with cancer, I wanted to use natural treatments rather than, I'd said no to chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And I got well. But then we came back from our mission and I started working and got really busy and neglected. I went on a special diet. In fact, I went on a vegan diet.
Okay.
But when we got home after a few years, I kind of drifted away I just went back to my old
eating habits and
American diet.
Yeah. Right.
And it came back.
Oh, interesting.
And in fact, within a year, it was 4th stage.
Wow.
It was ovarian cancer.
Interesting.
Which is, according to the medical profession, incurable.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. They were warning me that I would not survive it.
Wow. That's scary.
But I went totally into natural treatments. I did, though, in the end, I got so sick that I've had to have surgery about 3 or 4 times to remove the growths that were growing in me.
Okay.
But finally, I decided that I needed to do some chemotherapy.
Yeah.
But I was doing the other alternative the whole time while I did the chemotherapy. And I just recovered. My tumors all just...
Wow.
They were able to remove I had a big one in my colon. They were able to remove that. But the other ones, I had a big one on my liver, about the size of an orange.
Oh my goodness.
And I had
huge.
others in my lymph nodes.
Wow.
And they just went away.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. What a blessing.
And so that's got me then into, I discovered how emotional issues often cause people to have serious disease.
Yeah.
And cancer is a very emotionally generated disease.
Yeah. What are some of the emotions that go along with cancer?
Oh, anger, fear, all the big ones. Being disappointed, poor self-image. But it's mostly fear and anger.
Okay.
They're the 2 main ones. That will just, if you can't deal with them and understand why you're angry or why you're fearful, so you can let it go, it becomes a cancer in your body. Just fear just sticks in your tissues, and if you don't do anything about it, you end up with something. You could have liver failure instead of a liver cancer, or heart failure, but you get these major killing diseases.
Wow.
Because you have these really deep, hurtful emotions that just bother you all the time. And they will kill you.
Yeah.
If you don't do something about it.
So would you say it's important to pay attention to your thoughts first?
Absolutely. Because emotion is generated by a thought. You start thinking about some things, like a child at school. They think nobody likes them. And as they say, just walk out into the schoolyard and all the kids are there. And immediately they think, they hate me. And then they start feeling really bad.
Yeah.
Really sad, really angry. And of course, fearful as well.
Yeah.
And it just starts eating away out there. Wherever.
Yeah.
It'll attack any organ that's weak in your body. And we all have, some that are, all of our organs, some are strong, some are weak.
Yeah.
Some we have to pay more attention to. But that's a classic cause of disease, of killing disease.
So what's a great way to naturally for someone to let go of their emotions?
Well, the simplest way is to learn to deep breathe.
Okay, deep breathing.
Yes, just nice, deep, slow breaths as you breathe out. You just imagine everything just relaxing in your body, and you're just letting go of whatever thoughts are bothering you.
Okay.
That's the simplest way.
Okay.
But you do usually need to go to a therapist who can help you identify what it is that's making you angry or fearful. And the methods that I use, they're based on that the body, we send out an energy, like when you're very, very angry. A person can come around you and they feel your anger. You may not have to say a word, There's an angry energy frequency that you send out and that people can feel it.
Right.
So if other people can feel it, what's it doing to you?
Right.
Okay. So the therapist has certain methods of discovering what the emotions are
Okay.
that are running your life.
Okay.
And then you get the person to think about it, to with intention, just say, I'm letting that go. Now that I know that that's there, I'm going to let that go. I'm not going to dwell on that anymore. Okay?
Okay.
And by going through that kind of mental exercise, you can like reprogram yourself. You can reprogram, because most of these emotions that are detrimental, that are hurting us, we hide them in our subconscious, because our consciousness is divided into two parts, conscious and subconscious.
Yeah.
And the subconscious part is 90% of the consciousness. And what the subconscious tends to be filled with is all the things that we fear, the things that upset us, that we don't want to deal with every day. We try to forget it,
Yeah.
But we can't just forget it. We stuff it into our subconscious, but it's still there.
Right.
It's like a program on the TV, on the computer. It's running all the time.
Yeah.
It is.
Right.
It is program.
Right.
We program ourselves
Right.
with our thoughts, and you can reprogram yourself with your intention.
That's wonderful.
With changing how you think.
Yeah.
And then when you start changing how you think, you are putting out a different emotional energy to yourself and to the world around you. And you actually are reprogramming your subconscious, getting rid of those old programs that are detrimental and harmful. And then you state what you want instead. You create a new program. You decide how I want to feel, and you tell yourself that that's how you're feeling. You actually, it's like you actually write a new program and put that into your subconscious. And by repeating that thought and statement, actually stating it, you actually reprogram your subconscious.
Wow.
You can change completely how you think about things.
That gives so much hope for people.
The thing is, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to come to an understanding that it's possible, that you can do it. But you do need the help of a therapist.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do it on your own. You can do it to some extent. I mean, there's lots of self-help books out there written, and you can read those, and they can help you a lot just by helping you, making different statements to yourself.
Yeah.
You can, but if you're not sure what it is you're dealing with,
right,
and you don't always get to know that yourself, usually you'll need the help of a professional,
right,
to quickly find out just what the false beliefs are that are misdirecting your life.
Right.
So, but it's amazing how quickly it can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people come to me just one time, and they don't come back, and then I run into them a year or so later, 3 or 4 or 5 years later, and they'll say, that time that changed my life.
Oh, wow.
What you did for me that day changed my life.
That's so rewarding. It's so amazing.
They learned how to reprogram. And they used that new knowledge and skill that they've developed. Because I always teach people how to heal themselves.
Yes.
I always give them tools. If you do this, you can change how you think. Show them how to do it.
I love that because you're empowering them.
Yes, that is my whole
Mm-hmm.
aim when I work with people. I want to empower them to do for themselves what they need.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to be dependent on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then they become codependent.
Yeah, once in a while I'll
dependent.
get a client that is codependent,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll work with them for a while, but then I'll just end up telling them,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know, you become codependent on me.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to be your guru.
Yeah.
Every time you feel upset about something, you're running to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can become really difficult.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I've had some clients who I'd be making dinner at night, and doorbell would ring, and they'd be there, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, having a meltdown. I need your help.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'd have been giving them all kinds of tools and exercises that they could do when they're, you know, they get in a panic. Here's what you do.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be using them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They only felt better when they worked with me.
Yeah.
And
That's not going to help them in the long run.
it doesn't help them.
Yeah.
I got that I was not helping them anymore.
Right.
I was
Right.
teaching them to depend on me.
Right. And then they could jump to another therapist, but until they're ready to empower
That is
themselves.
what they most of them do.
Yeah.
They go from one therapist to the other.
Yeah. And, you know, God made us where He wants us to be independent.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, He wants us to grow
Yeah.
strong within ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
If you're depending on somebody else, you're not growing.
Right.
So that's a big part of when I work with people. I always give them something to do, some exercise, some thought process or something to help
Yeah.
change what's going on in their life.
And then it's
So-
important, like you said, your methods to help them be aware of what the thoughts are.
Yes.
And then they can
Yeah.
choose from
Yeah.
there. Once
The
they're
thing
aware,
is,
you
the
can
thing
choose
is
those.
to help them be aware of what the
Yeah.
problem really is,
Right.
because so often they're
Yeah.
totally off base,
Mm-hmm.
and it's mostly because they're blaming somebody else.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the problem is my husband, or it's my mom, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And while you blame somebody else, you're helpless to
Right.
help yourself.
Mm-hmm. It does not empower you at all.
No, you're giving your power away.
Right.
When you blame another person, you're giving your power to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so you are a victim.
Yeah.
And there's so many people who go through life as a victim.
Yeah.
And they are unhappy the whole time.
Yeah, and they'll never be happy or empowered if they
No.
keep blaming people and going as a victim.
That's right. You have to take responsibility yourself.
But if people can learn to, be aware of their thoughts and then make that choice and say,
Yeah.
I'm responsible for my thoughts, feelings, and actions, then
Right.
they
Exactly.
can heal and get better.
That is how you grow
Yes.
and heal.
Mm-hmm.
You heal yourself.
Well, you've helped me amazingly. Iris, I met Iris 8 years ago, and I was really struggling with my emotions. And someone had recommended Iris to me, and I'm just so grateful for her. She's ended up becoming a true dear friend of mine as well.
Yes.
We're connected in a lot of ways. And I just wanted to say I was on some medication when I met her to help with my anxiety. And I struggled with depression as well, but it was mainly anxiety, because when you don't get your anxiety under control, it turns into depression. Anyways, the medication for me was helping, but my psychiatrist at the time said that I could go off in 4 to 5 years. Well, it had been almost 4 years, and so I was praying to God and asking Him, when can I go off of this? And then when I was struggling, and a friend recommended me to you, I saw her one time. And it was amazing, the therapy she gave me. She used tapping, rapid eye movement, and kinesiology.
Right.
It's called physical emotional trauma release. And after that day, she released a whole bunch of negative emotions in me because the emotions get stuck in our bodies. And the next day, God told me to go off my medicine. And I went off, and I've been fine ever since.
Yeah,
It's been amazing.
That is amazing. Not
Truly
many people
miracle.
can do that.
That's true. And so I wouldn't recommend that to everyone. That's something that I was told from God, my personal journey. So everyone has to figure those things out themselves. But for me, yeah, it's been a true blessing. It really worked.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen so many times. Times coming to see me.
Wow.
But many people would be 3 or 4 times and they'd say, wow, I feel so different. I don't think I need to come anymore.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Such a blessing.
Or they would, take a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then they'd come and say there's something else, do that maybe for a year, where they'd come every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
But then they would just stop coming.
Yeah.
And it was usually because I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can do this now.
Yeah.
And so they don't need outside help. There's self-healing.
Yes. And I saw Iris several times, many, many times. But, for me, I was in a place where I needed her a lot. I needed that therapy. But then I took classes from her because she taught some classes. And so now I just empowered myself and I do it on my own. And it's amazing.
That's why I taught so many classes. I wanted people to be able to not only do it for themselves, but to help other people.
Yes.
Especially their family members, their own children, and so on.
Yes.
And they were becoming a therapist to their family.
Yes.
And friends. So it is so needed.
Yes.
There's just so many people out there who are hurting, and they don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This gives so much hope to people. I was going to ask you, what were some of the natural methods you used to overcome your cancer?
Well, first of all, I changed my diet.
Okay, changed your diet. That's huge.
No more of the typical American diet. No junk food at all. Well, I became a vegan.
Yeah.
Or no meat, dairy products. And just lived mostly on fruits and vegetables. And and then I did a lot of the therapy.
Okay.
That I now
that you do. Yes.
That I now do. I went to therapists who were, teaching me how to get rid of old fears that I had from a child when I was a child. I'd known that I had fears and I'd known that for years, and the more I got into, helping other people, I realized I had a lot of garbage in my subconscious that I had to get rid of.
I think we don't realize a lot of times what's going on in our brain. I know I didn't.
When you don't, or if it's something, really disturbing to you, you can be in fear all the time without realizing it.
Yeah.
That you're afraid every minute of what might happen next, or what are people going to say, how are people going to react to me. If you're feeling that all the time, you need to do something about it.
Yeah. Because it's not pleasant to be in fear all the time.
No, it's not, and it's very destructive.
In fact, isn't the first emotion fear that leads to all of the
fear is the underlying emotion to all negative emotions.
Okay, thank you.
And so,
it's a mind killer.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes.
That's a Dune quote.
It's the opposite
really? Yeah, it is, definitely.
It's the opposite of God. God is faith.
Yes.
And when we have faith,
that's right.
Then
yes,
we can do anything.
Right.
Right. As long as we've got God with us too.
So, Yeah, no, where
Oh,
were
you're
we?
good. So the emotions, could you talk about maybe, didn't you take the ionized water to help you when you
Oh,
had
yeah,
cancer
that
and things
was
like that?
some of the main things I did.
Uh-huh.
I started drinking highly alkaline water. You have to either have a special filter they'll
Okay.
take from your tap. It'll separate it's actually negatively charged or positively charged
Okay.
ions in the water.
Mm-hmm.
We need more negatively charged
Okay.
because it's alkaline
Okay.
and it cleanses your body.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Western diet makes your body very acidic.
Mm.
And if you have too much acid,
Mm-hmm.
well, imagine what acid does.
Yeah.
It corrodes.
Yeah.
It starts breaking down your organs
Right.
if you're too acidic.
Mm-hmm.
And so that contributes to like cancer, especially, and all painful illnesses like what are some of the ones where you're in pain all the time? Arthritis,
Yeah. Okay.
rheumatism.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All of those are caused by the tissues becoming inflamed,
Okay.
and therefore they start breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
But drinking this good water neutralizes the acid in your body,
Okay.
and it's one of the most powerful ways of healing your body. Drinking good, clean water.
Mm-hmm.
Tap water, no one should ever drink.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much toxins in tap water.
Okay.
They do their best to clean it within a reasonable cost, but it's still very dirty.
Yeah. Plus, they put chlorine in it.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And that's a chemical that's harmful to
They
you.
put chlorine in to kill the microbes, and it does do that. But it's an acidic. It's very acidic,
Yeah.
and so it's making your body more acid, which causes inflammation throughout the body, and you end up with all kinds of painful conditions. Plus, it then is breaking things down and giving you cancer, and it's making your kidney fail and your heart failure, kidney failure, whatever.
Yeah.
Because there's so much corrosion
Yeah.
in your body that it attacks certain organs that are weak already. And so you end up with some catastrophic disease just because you're drinking
tap water. So I've been using ionized water for several years, I think a couple years before I met you, because my father-in-law bought, the Kangen.
Oh, he did the Kangen one.
Yeah, because my mother-in-law's cousin came to visit them one time and was telling them about the Kangen ionized water. And so, so now we love it so much and drink it. It's hard sometimes when we go on vacation when we don't have our ionized water. It tastes different, but it has been really helpful. I can tell a difference.
Yeah, that is a big factor. I did other things too, like I have a thing. It's a foot bath, actually.
Okay.
You a little device that you put in a bucket, water.
Okay.
You can actually put it in your bath too if you want. But mostly people have a big bucket that you fill with water and put your feet in, and you put this little device in with you, which actually creates a cloud of ionized particles.
Okay, that's what it's doing.
And it goes in your body. It fills your body with the negatively charged particles. And so then it's breaking down the acid in your body. It's actually giving you like an energy boost, actually. It's like, think of giving your body a battery charge. it actually, it's like that. It gives your body this extra charge of energy.
That's wonderful.
And I use that a lot when I had cancer.
Okay, and so
now I use it occasionally.
Yeah, so I've gotten foot baths from Iris too, and I know it's amazing. I love how when you start out, the water's clear, but then pretty soon, if you have all these toxins in your body, the water starts getting really dirty and brown and different colors because it's all the toxins coming out. It's amazing to see.
The water can get almost black.
Yeah, wow.
If you have a lot of toxicity, like smokers.
Mm-hmm.
When I've had people come for foot baths who are smokers, their water gets so
pretty dirty.
Awful looking
that's a lot of toxins.
that it scares them.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Does it help them want to stop smoking? Or I'm just curious.
I don't know because usually it scares them so much they never come back.
Oh, yeah.
But this
it's probably a shock to them to see all the toxins coming out.
One time a couple came and he was a smoker. Mm-hmm. She didn't smoke. Mm-hmm. So his water was almost black. Okay.
No. Mm-hmm.
And so she said, well, it'll be interesting to see how much better mine will be. But you know that hers was almost as black as him.
Wow. And she didn't
smoke. Secondhand smoke.
Oh, the secondhand smoke.
Secondhand smoke is almost as bad as direct smoke.
That's true. That's true.
When she saw that, she was so mad at him.
Oh, gosh.
She just started yelling at him and saying, "You've got to stop smoking. Look what you're doing to me."
Secondhand smoking is actually worse for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
it is
my
worse.
gosh. Anyway, she was so mad at him.
Yeah.
So they never came back, but maybe they had to go when they got home.
Yeah.
And said, I'm going to leave you if you don't stop smoking because you're killing me. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I just did a lot of different.
Yeah.
Like I have a thing, looks like a little wand. It's about this long.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives out a beam, a red beam of, what is the light called? Far infrared light.
Okay.
Which is very healing to the body.
Oh, okay.
And if I have anywhere that I'm hurting, I just put it on there. And it can really make it feel better.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of people have treatments of ultraviolet. No, not ultraviolet. Far infrared.
Okay, far infrared.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Iris, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing the methods that helped you overcome your cancer. And it's so wonderful. Could you share your age with us, please?
I am 86.
86 years old. That's amazing. See, and you look so much younger. But it's because of all the natural things you've done, and you've done all you can to take care of yourself healthily in so many ways, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. That makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So wonderful.
I can certainly attest to that.
Thank you so much for coming on our show today and sharing your experiences and all of your knowledge. And
it's my pleasure.
It's been so wonderful to have you.
Thank you for asking me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us at Living Healthy with Amy Turner, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this episode of Living Healthy with Amy Turner. If you enjoyed watching, please be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified about future episodes. If you would like to learn more, you can comment below and be sure to follow and message me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks a lot for watching and have a fabulous day.